Oh, hello, good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about the story of SM Entertainment. And now, if you try to tell the story in a list of his songs and famous music band, you will run out of time. But if you tell the story the way it happened, you will see that it's really a story of a company that figured out how to build a rule for consumption of global pop culture. So we're going to see that if you look at the past 3 decades of SM entertainment, you will have an incredible accurate roadmap for how culture is produced, distributed, and consumed in the world today. So let's rewind to 1995. It's not 1995 when Lee Soo-man started a band. It's 1995 he drew a blueprint and started a company called SM Entertainment. And this company is not focused on the domestic Korean market, but rather on the overseas expansion of Korean content. And what he does is create an idol factory. And what that means is he fully integrated system selecting training them, and producing music for them, and then managing their image. And now this is not just same as a band. This is industrialization of culture, and he create a system that can be repeated and scaled. And this DNA we're going to follow as we go through the rest of the story. So now the story need a proof of concept. So in 1996, he launched Hot. And what happened is, the impact of this debut is so huge that it's not just as a music craze, there is a youth reason that spewed all of music sector into fashion and further. And what it shows was that there was incredible commercial value that could be extracted, and not just in a short term, but in a long term, on a sustainable basis. But more importantly, he created a proof of a concept for entire K-pop industry. And when we really start to see Hanyu or Korean wave in its truest youth orientation form.
Now, in order to go from a cultural frenzy to a global industry, you need money. And in 2000, he makes a really big strategic decisions. He goes public on the Nasdaq, and what that means is it is not just a symbolic shift. Idols are not just a cultural icon, they are financial assets. And what that access to a capital market means was that he had room for the bigger productions and for the bigger ambitions, particularly for overseas expansion. And that's the moment that K-pop went from being a cultural product of Koreans into a K-pop industry as a capital driver global business. And so, with the capital and that ambitions, he decided that he is going to expand in Korean. And his first big expansion outside of Koreans is with BOA. And what he did between 2001 and 2003 was SM first lessons in globalization. And what she learned was that the lessons of globalization was that you have to be hybrid. So she didn't just think in Japanese. She took her Korean training and put a little J-pop on top of it. And what that means was that he became a Korean Japanese artist, but she was also Korean Japanese music. She became a bridge between the two media markets. And so the lessons there was that in order to succeed in Japan, you want to reply in Japanese culture. You will intelligently adapting to it and fusing with it. And so then he took that lessons in cultural hybridity and applied it to the TV XQ. And what happens between 2005 and 2006 was that they didn't just become stars. They become vehicle for entry into the regional market. And what that means was that they become a carefully crafted performance and a carefully crafted language. Use that accelerated the entry of K-pop into the mainstream Asian entertainment market and make it a major cultural industry. And that show that SM can dominate a region.
The next big leap was technological by 2009, when YouTube and other online platforms began flourish. The rules of the game had changed. SM groups like Girls' Generations G and Super Junior Sorry Sorry didn't just sell chart-topping single, they became instant international sensations. Further disappeared. The internet became the new album release stage, and now SM operates in a global digital marketplace where their mix of Western pop serving music and Asian aesthetic helped create massive fan bases who transcend borders prominently in shining hip hop as a permanent fixture in global culture consumption. But that's when strategic planner SM cooked up a group of this borderless world XO when they debuted their twin units XOK for Korea and XOM for China in 2012. They were pulling out the most transnational, globally hybrid culture act in the world on purpose right out of the gate. It was a brilliant experiment in building a new global transitional fanbase in two languages at once, and XO's runaway success show how a savvy media company could parallel launch, ask for multiple markets in a few swoop. But SM wasn't done. With NCT in 2016, they started thinking about unlimited expansion. It was platformization in action. Multiple subunits could be launched and sculpt like models on a platform like NCT 127 for the Seoul time zone, NCT Dream for the young audience, and Baby for China, making the idol group less fixed product and more of the flexible, scalable franchise. This was ultimate globalization and networked fandom culture on a scale never before seen.
This transition from music company to content platform is why SM was fighting over. It is why Hive and Kakao fight to control it in 2023. This wasn't just a fight over artists. It was a fight over data and intellectual property controls over digital fan space. And Kakao winning the fight means the end of the era. It is also proof that the company values of the future lies in the vast digital teach media network and the data or IP values of the company as a whole, not just the music. And that's this is now, and this is the future. Happy 30th anniversary, SN. As we celebrate the futures of the idol factory, SN is looking to its next frontier, AI idols and global IP strategies. This is the natural evolutions of the Fletcher system, the rise of the algorithm culture, where data and AI aren't just tools. They are the drivers of creativity, and by marketing itself as both an entertainment label and a teach company, SN is trying to set the standards for the futures of the entertainment industry and pop culture where the line between human artistry and digital products is more and more blurred by the day. But what is the bottom line of the 30-year odyssey? The stories of SN Entertainment is the stories of media in our time. From local to global, from product to asset, from analog to digital, from content makers to architectural designer, SN didn't just flow along on the wave of the global media industry. Almost everywhere you look, SN was out ahead, surfacing and shaping the ways. SN is the stories of how we make and sell pop culture in the 21st century. Thank you.